There is an expectation of hype. I've accepted these terms. Like, I went in there knowing what I'm getting myself into. I don't necessarily agree. What's up, everyone? There's a lot of talk online right now about promotion of arm wrestling, hyping up matches, talking smack. I want to give a disclaimer. I'm about to give you my opinion on this, but I'm only going by what I've heard. I don't have all the details, all the facts. Here we go. All right, guys. So stick around. This may be an unpopular opinion. You know, what if it's not the fault of the athlete? What if you don't agree with what I'm going to say? Stick around to the end. I think I'm going to bring you around. But I'm going to give you my opinion on how I believe behavior should be, or expectations for behavior in the sport of arm wrestling. As most of you know, I've been doing this for 33 years. Started back in 1990 when I was just a kid. And arm wrestling for me has always been, you know, you walk up, you shake hands before the match, you have an amazing match, you shake hands afterwards, boom, and we find out who the best is. And I still believe that is the case in general. But due to the popularity of WWE, UFC, boxing, the promotion of fights, there is an expectation of hype, build up. Now, I believe that is in the case of professional format arm wrestling. But in the instance of state level, regional, provincial, national, IFA, WAF, world competition, I still think at those levels, we're looking for sportsmanship. We're looking for, you know, the best athlete to come out on top. Does that mean the matches aren't intense? No. But there's a certain degree of respect, a certain degree of behavior that is supposed to be maintained. Now, I do believe this is a responsibility of the promotion. Like, if you go to WAF, IFA, if you're not in uniform, you don't get to compete. I remember back in the day, if you stepped on the stage, they would kick you out of the event. You weren't allowed on the stage. And the only people going on stage were like the people making the protest or the team captain or something like that. So they would set an expectation of behavior, and it was the responsibility of the athlete to behave within those guidelines. Now, let's just say, in any instance, behavior that is unacceptable to the promotion occurs at an event. In my opinion, it is the promotion's responsibility to stop the behavior at that point. If they let the behavior to continue and they go back and try to punish the athlete later, I believe that is unjust. I believe that if you're going to punish a participant, an athlete, whatever, for behavior that they're demonstrating or whatever during their event, that punishment should happen live, right there. It is not something you go back at a later date and deem a punishment that they believe is necessary. Now, I have no idea in what instance, how things are going on or what's happening, but I'm just giving you what I believe to be the way the sport of arm wrestling should, you know, continue. From a professional format, if I sign a contract, like if I show up at an event with my family and I'm just there to compete and I want to, you know, try to win a national title or try to win whatever title at whatever organization it is, you know, I believe everyone's there. It's a family affair. I've always said arm wrestling is like a family reunion, get together arm wrestling. And I believe that's how most people who attend, especially the old guard like myself, that's how they have always seen arm wrestling represented. Now, if I sign my name on the dotted line for a contract for a super match, which is now sports entertainment, which now there's an expectation of hype and build up and promotion, as long as you don't say anything about my family, we're good, right? Like, I've accepted these terms. Like, I went in there knowing what I'm getting myself into. But if I showed up at an event and then I was not expecting that type of back and forth, would I be caught off guard? Yes. How would I respond? Who knows? I've not been in that situation. I just believe that as an athlete, as a professional athlete, whether we're competing in a professional forum or we're competing at more of a state, regional, provincial, national, amateur world level, however you want to look at those, it is our responsibility to behave according to the expectations that the promotion sets. I hate to see drama happen in a sport that I love so much. I hate to see friends that I've known for decades be, at each other. Because at the end of the day, I still feel like this is a fan reunion to get together arm wrestling. We love the sport. Now, with the growth of the sport, will there be an expectation of potentially crossing the line? Is that what the spectators want to see? Is that what social media wants to see? I've been getting messages and people are like, oh, the only way the sport's going to grow is because of this, because of that. I don't necessarily agree. I think for arm wrestling to grow like any sport, it needs to start at the junior level. It needs to start at a level where our youth get involved. And that's why I think Eastern European and Sweden and all these other countries who have arm wrestling as a sport that you can get into when you're young, while they're way ahead of us, right? But to do that, there's going to have to be people that parents want to see their children emulate themselves after, right? So if we all turn into this Conor McGregor, which I like Conor McGregor, I think he's funny. I mean, makes me laugh. But I think there's going to have to be some give and take. And the problem is when every time, if you're a professional pro format arm wrestler, in every event that you go to, you get yourself in a certain mind state where I'm going to promote this, I'm going to hype this because this is my responsibility as an athlete. How do you turn that off when you get to a different level of an event? Maybe you can't, So I would like to hear your opinion. What do you think? Who is responsible? Is there punishment for breaking the expectation or behavior or whatever, however you want to look at it? Or should that be stopped immediately at the event? And if it's not, is there any justification that the promotion would have to go back and punish an athlete? I don't know. A lot of people are talking about it.